Hello, hello, hello.
How you getting on?
Hello, lovely world. You are listening to the Red Sky at Night podcast, and that is presented by Steady Entertainment, produced by Mr. Chris McCarthy, and hosted, at least for now, by myself, Dustin Parsons. And some of you are just listening to this on your favorite podcast outlets, and some of you are watching on YouTube. And here today I've got my buddies. I think if you're going to start a podcast, you should aspire to be able to just talk to your friends, have a chat, and for that to be a productive conversation. So today I've got my buddies here with me, Mr. Richard Wells, who's my friend who happens to work at Marble Mountain as the
Sales and marketing is the official title, but I've got my hands in many different hats for sure.
And lead backflipper.
You know it.
And our friend Ray Brake here. Say hi, Ray.
How you doing, guys?
Ray's, there's lots to be learned about Ray, but we'll figure that out over the next little while. Yeah. Oh. Thanks for coming up today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Beers are cold.
Beers are cold. How come we've been so frantic setting up to get this on the go? I'm the only one with an empty glass.
Joke's on you. All right. I guess
what do you got? You already got something open there? What is that?
Some of this crooked feeder, man. It's delicious.
What's that, Ray?
It's a White River wit beer.
Wit?
Yep.
What's a wit? Is that like a wheat beer?
It's a wheat beer, yeah. It's, I guess it's named after a German sort of background.
Okay.
But it's, yep.
A wit.
I love these grunters, Ray. These are cool looking. Where'd you come up with this idea for the grunter? I've never seen them in Newfoundland before.
Oh, really? Imagine that, eh? No, actually, they're a product of Nova Scotia. Pretty much all the breweries in the province, they get them from Zipline.
These are made over there?
Oh,
these
yeah.
grunters? Oh,
yeah.
I'm a big fan of the history write-up you got on the back there, too. That's really cool.
Oh, yeah. No, we figured that it's, we're up in Cormac. It's a bit of an obscure location. It's not on the coastline or anything, so we need to give people a bit of a background on what it is and why we're there.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm so new to this now that I'm still trying to visualize, okay, only some people are watching this, some people are listening only. So if you're just listening and you can't see what's on the table, Ray is one of the founding partners, I guess, of Crooked Feeder, which is a new microbrewery that was established in Cormac, and now a bunch of different stuff's happening. So Ray's brought some of that delicious brew here for us to try today. It's actually
nectar, sweet
nectar. It's the second time I've had. The first time I had it was at Sorrento. It was like a couple months ago. You had like a red.
That would have been a Rideout Red.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. And you had those glasses down here too, which are sweet.
Oh, for sure. It's the Rideout Red is actually one of our best selling beers. It's phenomenal how well it's been being received.
Yeah.
I actually feel like a baller just holding this glass, like, ooh, just let it slither around.
Exactly.
What is like? There are different glasses for different beers, aren't there? Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
Like some of them are like open, some of them are.
It depends on how I guess technical you want to get, but if you got a glass,
you can get like aromas and stuff if they're shaped differently or whatever.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with a full glass, right?
A full glass. Cold.
I've never known you to look at a glass half full anyway.
Exactly. No, just full.
Yeah.
Just full. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's cool, man. So you guys have been making this beer for, I think you were saying, a year, 2 years? A lot longer than you've been selling it, basically. Well,
actually, I'm involved with Crooked Feeder with two other business partners, Rob Sutton and Corey White. They've been brewing beer for about probably 7 years now.
Okay.
Just not kit beer, right from the raw grains, and going from there. So they gained a lot of experience. So we basically parlayed that into this Crooked Feeder. And about a little over 2 years ago, we decided to jump in and get started and start our business and see what would happen, because it seemed like the timing was right. There was a lot of uptake in craft breweries in the province. And we knew we had a great product, and we were willing to put it out there to honest opinion. And the opinion so far has been great. Yeah. And we worked hard over the last year and a half. And in November of 2018, we became legal to licensed to be able to sell our beer.
November of 2018.
Yeah, so we're still
wow,
fairly new,
very new, man.
But we've made some great strides since then. We're still working on our tap room, but we have a brew house that has been it's It's the first brewery we're the first brewery in the province to have a brew house that's been locally fabricated.
What do you mean by that?
Instead of having to order the components,
like the tanks
from out of province, yeah. So we had some discussion with the Tin Man in Corner Brook, and Rob Sutton. He's the builder of the group, and he conceptualizes these things. Very keen with the process for making the beer.
Yeah.
So he drafted up some plans, and we took it to the Tin Man and had a few meetings and some discussion. And we said, "Can you guys do this? And here's the challenges you're going to face, and then what's the cost?" And they said, "Yeah, they can do it." And they said, "We can do it at this cost." And the price was really really good, and you can't go wrong with having your gear locally made.
Yeah.
So we decided to jump in and do that, and based on that, we're able to build a bigger brew house, which is what we needed, because we do work we do have daytime jobs.
Yeah.
So for us, it's important to get as much volume per unit time.
Yeah.
And since then, there's been like the uptake in our product has been amazing. We have a beer in about a dozen locations out in St. John's.
Like restaurants?
Restaurants, bars.
Taking over the East Coast. I love it.
Well, at the end of the day, as one of the challenges that, I guess all craft breweries have is, if you want to put your product out into the market, you need to have tap space, and tap space isn't readily available. So especially in the west, especially in Western Newfoundland, where there's a higher volume of establishments in the East Coast, there are more opportunities.
Yeah.
And people, I guess, certain establishments want to ride that wave of the local craft beer feel, right?
Yeah.
So we've been able to capitalize on that, and we're at like I said, a dozen locations, and the first order you get from any of those places, from my perspective, not that it don't mean anything, but it's not a good acid test. When they come back and want the third order, or want an increased order the second time, third time around, and you build a good relationship. Yeah. So you know you're getting great feedback, and you know that they're not having any trouble, and they just want the product. So
restaurant's definitely a place to get that feedback, because that's a place where people definitely don't mind giving their feedback. It's like if they order a beer off the menu and they don't like it, they're going to let you know.
Exactly. And we certainly welcome, good, honest, sincere feedback. Mm-hmm. If we have put a beer out there, and first off, we wouldn't put it out there if we didn't think it was up to the standard that we would be proud to put out there.
Yeah.
Like we say that the most valuable batch is the batch you pour down the drain. Like, it sounds ironic, but it's you don't try and recoup your cost on that batch, because you give people literally and figuratively a bad taste, so it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Well, literally, I don't know about you, but I often learn the most from some of my mistakes, and moving forward, not to make that mistake again.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is. I guess I'll segue into the Corner Brook market and the fact that we have the gastropub.
So you're moving. So the beer has always been being brewed in Cormac.
Yes.
Which is a half an hour east of Deer Lake, Newfoundland, or farther?
It's about 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
We'll say,
because that road is long, dude.
15 minutes. That's 8.5 kilometers.
Yeah.
So did you have a few drinks before you made that drive or anything? Is that the distance you're talking about?
No,
no, we can't have that.
No. It's literally 8.5 kilometers in off the Viking Trail.
Yeah.
It's on the left-hand side, and you can't miss the Crooked Feeder logo. It's a saw blade logo, which resonates with the location. It was a former sawmill that Rob Sutton's father had owned.
Yeah,
and
cool.
So
he's right entrenched in it. And what is Crooked Feeder? Since I've been a kid driving across the island, I always see the sign on the highway, Crooked Feeder, right by that brook there.
Crooked Feeder is a stream tributary that flows into the upper Humber essentially. So we wanted a name that resonated with the locals.
Yeah,
and we also wanted a name that was intriguing to tourists.
Yeah.
And Crooked Feeder is like, what is that? So right off the bat, you're piquing their interest in their, So we thought it was a fitting name for the location. It's in the same general region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
You mentioned tourists there a second ago. Obviously, summertime coming up. Was there anything that led you to doing this type of thing? Tourism related. How did you get to where you are right now?
Or do you see it as tourism related?
It is most definitely tourism related, because everyone knows that the province and the economy now is in a bit of a tough time. Everyone's suffering through it together, and we're hoping that we're going to come out at some point with with some upside. But the time of large fabrication plants and those type of things isn't really that prominent now. We can't put our eggs in that basket, so we have to sort of diversify and parlay our assets, which is our tourism and our scenery, into something that we can benefit from. And for us, we're sort of tying two things together: that people's love for craft beer. There's a lot of craft beer enthusiasts there, so if we can combine that with probably doing a whale watching adventure, hiking Gross Mourne, checking out some icebergs, doing some zip lining or whatever the case may be during the day, and then checking out your local craft brewery in the evening. It's a great complement to each other, and I think it's what's going to be a cornerstone for the province.
70% of all tourism dollars are spent after 6 o'clock. So I mean that's prime market.
6 in the evening?
Yeah, if you think about it, they're going to do their adventure during the day. They're going to go for a hike, whatever it might be. Might not necessarily cost a lot during the day, but then during the evening, everybody's rare and ready to go. Want some food, some drinks. Tell a good story.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I guess there's some exceptions to that, like probably Marble. Or like that's definitely a daytimer, but a lot of tourists definitely end up there in the daytime. But you can pretty much, I think, just going by some of the things we saw this winter, some of the days you head up there, I think you can go to like Marble Mountain on a Saturday and tell what kind of night is going to be in town. And if you're an event person or a venue owner, you can tell by what's going on, what the vibes are on the hill up there, and how many people are in from out of town and stuff, and use that as a litmus test to what the evening's going to be like in Corner Brook. I find that pretty interesting. But you guys had a good year up there?
It was highs and lows, pun intended, with the ski industry, obviously.
And the cannabis industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Mother Nature definitely kicked us when we were down this year a lot. If it wasn't wind, it was rain. It was tough, but all in all, we had a great season, did some really cool, fun events. So, I couldn't be happier. I mean,
Blast the Boom.
Blast the Boom was probably my favorite event I've ever done at Marble Mountain.
Yeah.
That backflip I threw off of that was pretty epic. Yeah.
We need to, somewhere when this goes up online, we're going to include a clip to a great video made by Evan Brake. He did a sweet promo video of that Blast the Boom event, right?
Helly Hansen sponsored it. We gave away a bunch of jackets that year. It was cool.
Yeah, I saw there's something going on with the hill and Helly Hansen.
Yeah, so all employees at Marble Mountain actually get 50% off through the Helly Hansen website. So,
cool.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for a new job or anything, need some new clothing, I can help you.
Send the resume.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll send you one too. How about that?
There you go. Yeah.
So they're like a sponsor, like official partner of Marble Mountain in that way.
That's right. Yeah, and perks of the job, there's definitely things that go along with it. I have a parking pass that allows me to park out back of the lodge. That's really cool. If I don't get there by like 9 a.m., I don't get it. So tough luck.
When I go there and you're off, I park in your spot.
I noticed, actually. Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't had a groomer full of snow thrown on my car already.
I get the season pass obviously as well. Try and ski as much as possible. With my job, I definitely don't ski as much as what I'd like to. Ideally, I'd like to be out there every day, but that's best case scenario.
But when you are there, you are sending it.
Send it.
I've seen you. I'm up in the lodge sipping on a beer after like my second run, rubbing my knee, and I'm like, "What's that?" Coming down the hill. Oh, he went upside down and again.
Oh, there's two.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's cool to see. I'm glad. That's good to have. There's some serious riders at the hill, man, and like some really good snowboarders up there too. BJ and Lake.
I went to British Columbia years ago, and I graduated from the ski resort operations and management program. And I really thought I was going to go out to BC and get kind of my ass handed to me by my colleagues in my class or whatever. And it's impressive to see that Marble Mountain and Newfoundland raises some really impressive athletes.
Yeah, man, and the race team too. Like the race team at Marble has always bred some pretty good skiers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that there's a ski race team in this area even. I wish that was something I could have done, but...
You've got a ski racing body.
But dude, you just told me I had a rock climbing body outside at the barbecue, so... But I keep it coming.
You got this, bro.
Yeah. I'm mostly aware of the things I don't have the physique for, but yeah.
I got a sushi eating body.
Sushi. Wish we had some sushi now.
I have a face for radio.
There you go.
Oh, well,
Tough crowd here today.
Yeah, zing. Oh, you know what it is? I forgot to add the laugh track into the podcast.
There you go.
Yeah, normally we got like a little oh, shit. Next time. Get you next time. But yeah.
So Dustin, what's going on with you these days, man? Congratulations with the move and the wife and the baby coming soon. Tell me more about all your things going on, dude.
Okay.
Enough about me and role reversal. Come on.
Man, yeah, this is it. We've been, well, as you know, I've been working in the legal cannabis industry for since legalization in Canada. It's been an interesting trip, but still.
Quite the jump from illegal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Similar skill set. You got to know how to fold shirts now, though.
There you go.
But yeah, that's been amazing. Really
But
cool
you can't go to
opportunity.
work in your underwear anymore.
No, I can't. Only when I'm off and I'm working for Steady Entertainment, right? Those are my underwear days.
There you go.
But yeah, that's
Are you wearing
it's been
pants
fun.
right now?
No. You want to see?
Sure.
Look.
Unbelievable.
Told you.
Little Willie.
Yeah. Hey, his name's Steven.
There you go.
Yeah, man, that's been pretty much it. We've moved, and we also were able to put together throughout the process the Steady Entertainment Cottage studio here. And yeah, man, we're having a kid, so I realized that I should try to do some cool stuff now. So we started the
You're
podcast.
going to be a great father.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, man.
You are, man. Yeah, for
I
sure.
really don't know. Do you have any kids that you know about?
There might be a few in Whistler area of British Columbia, but I'm not 100% on that.
What about you, Ray?
I got a few that I claim and a few that's still
on.
pending.
Yeah. Any advice or what?
Just enjoy the moment, man. When you got the kids, they grow up fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they say. But I don't know why people say that like a bad thing. It seems like you're looking forward to, like, grow up now. Like,
No,
not like
man,
that.
No, I got 3 daughters, and it was like they're in different phases where they're all over you. Then you're lucky to get a fist bump and an eye roll. That's a successful day.
Yeah.
When they're in their teens, and then they come back again, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know that's definitely the case with me and like in my parents. They were really cool my whole life, gave me all the space I needed, but I was still like, you guys are dorks. And then, but moved away for a bit. And then you realize, like, yeah, parents are a blessing to have. And it's good to spend time with them.
Well, my oldest daughter, she's 22. She's going to Grenfell. She's doing visual arts, and she's been over to Harlow, England for the last month, and she's going to be there for another 2 months.
What an opportunity.
Yeah, it's a part of their curriculum. They're going over there for a semester, and she has a terrible time, traveling to London every other day, checking out a museum or
Brutal.
I know it's
tough
rough
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
So it's a great experience for her, and we hope that she comes back just more appreciative of the things that she has.
Well, I think traveling is important. I was lucky. I got to go on a few school trips when I was a kid, and just especially living in Newfoundland in small communities, it's good to like get away now and then and see how the rest of the world does it. And also business wise, I find in Newfoundland, there's a lot of opportunities for people to not reinvent the wheel, but just look outside, take a little travel around, see what kind of cool new entrepreneurial things are happening. And most likely it hasn't hit Newfoundland yet.
There's a good chance it hasn't. We're behind the times in everything. I feel.
In a lot of things, in a lot of ways we're ahead, and in a lot of ways, I'm thankful that we're kind of behind. Just culturally and stuff, we're still very chill here and relaxed. I hope it stays that way. But yeah, business-wise, there's a lot of cool things that you only see when you go into bigger markets now that you can predict to be good around here, I find.
That's sort of what I did with the billboards.
Yeah.
With digital advertising. I looked in Corner Brook and, just figured that, well, there's something missing here that, why can't I bring it?
So
how many boards do you have across the island, by the way?
We have around 36 indoor digital billboards across the province. And we have a couple of outdoor digital billboards, one in Deer Lake and one in Corner Brook. By the fall, we'll have our second outdoor billboard in Corner Brook as well, by the Main Street Bridge.
The new bridge?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Like in front of the Steers building there kind of thing? Or?
It's going to be on the other side there where the old Corner Brook Garage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So
Man.
they're still doing their renos.
You got your hands in everything.
I tell you, well, I figure, if you're in the beer and you're in advertising, you can't lose, right? So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, they play hand in hand.
You guys have done great work for us up at Marble. I'll tell you that. One of the best decisions we ever made was partnering with you guys for sure.
Oh no, we certainly appreciate the opportunity, and we just like to treat all of our customers that well, and let them know that they're getting great service.
Yeah,
there's always going to be a few hiccups in the road and that, but you always work through it. So we're proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we have a lot of repeat business certainly is a testament to that, right?
Well, it's good to have a new option. Just coming from like a, I guess, traditional media background, it certainly has its place. But now business is evolving, technology is evolving, so it's cool to advertise in the newspapers and radios and things. But now I think you got to take that next step. You got to go on digital billboard. You need to look at alternative media and podcasts and places like that to get the word out.
For sure, you got to be innovative. You got to think outside the box, but you still, where possible, if the opportunities are there, still advertise somewhat traditionally. Like one thing that we don't do is try and take anyone away from advertising in the paper or advertising in the radio or whatnot, because if you have an unlimited budget, you should be in all those places.
Yeah. You should be doing a blended approach, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
So, but I will say that we try to put the customer in the right location for their product and for their clientele they're trying to reach and the purpose of their messaging, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it's not like you have these screens only in gas stations or only in malls. It's like you have them everywhere. So depending on what it is, what the messaging is, you can really kind of knock that down. And I don't think that other forms of advertising can get that right down there into the demographic of, okay, you're going to be seen in this mall, in this neighborhood, or, in this part of town versus that part of town.
You're exactly right. You got to cater to the needs of your clients and your potential clients. We have screens that are this very heavily traveled areas where there's a lot of people going through, and that's what people want, numbers. And you have screens that are focused towards a certain demographic. Like we have some at Vitch Wellness Center, Health and Performance Clinic, so that caters to certain businesses who want to reach a certain clientele.
Yeah,
we have screens at the CNAs across the province. We still have a few more to install, but we're working on that.
All the campuses will have these screens in them?
Yep, they're right now. I think we're at 11 of 17. Yeah, so we can certainly hit that province wide and hit a very targeted demographic. Like we tell our clients that it's current I guess high income earners with the faculty and the staff, and there's future high income earners who are working on their education, getting skilled trades and that are going to be having jobs where they're going to have income and looking for a house, probably looking for a vehicle, looking to travel, looking for different products and that. So
now, I hope you don't mind if I ask, but like, is there any skin in the game for like, let's say I own the gas station and you want to put the screen up in there? Is there anything in it for that person, or is it like they get the opportunity of having that that nice screen with these frequent ads? Or
the way we work it is in any good business relationship, everyone got to get something,
right?
And so from our perspective, if we're happy with what we're offering, and the venue is happy and they see value in what we're presenting, then we got a win-win situation. And plus, on top of that, they know that we're going to take care of them. Yeah. And there's some potential remuneration. Plus, they get some advertising. Well, that can be a currency, I suppose. But
you've got a lot to offer.
That we dabble with. Yeah. Yeah. But it's just about making it work for your client, for your venue partner, and you can't be everything to everyone, but as long as you know that you've done everything you can. And that's how we've been able to procure so many different venues, just by being straightforward, upfront, put it out there like it is, and don't overpromise, underdeliver.
Yeah.
And we've had our challenges, but you overcome them, and the clients. I think that they come away with a good appreciation that they're going to be taken care of, and no matter what business you're in, if you can let your client know that you're going to take care of them, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's right. Even right across the tourism, for sure. If you're not taking care of your client, you're not doing it correctly.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't get a lot of time, especially in the tourism, to like regain their love, right? It's like they're with you for a weekend. You got to make an opportunity that's going to make them come back next year. It's a short relationship, and you've got to be rock stars in that way, right?
For sure.
Yeah. But Yeah. So what about this summer? Like this, the thing about the ski hill is it's probably our best like venue asset in Western Newfoundland.
It's a demand generator.
It's a demand generator. You can look at it and be like, I can think about doing this. There should be this. There should be that. And it seems like already now it's starting to transition into like more of a 4-season resort. Last year with the Foam Fest event, that was a riot.
Yeah, you were one of my foamy homies. So
yeah, that was fun, man.
Maybe we can put Ray in a Borat suit and get him to come along with us this year.
Bring it on. Let's do it.
That was fun. And for anyone who didn't see it or didn't notice, who's from Western Newfoundland, the Foam Fest 5K was a project that Richard pretty much put together with 365 Sports. And it's basically an outdoor like fun run race that involves gigantic inflatables, mud pits, obstacles. There's no real score system per se. Everyone's kind of a winner, and literally everyone was a winner. Anyone who crossed the finish line got hooked up with a bunch of swag,
medal.
There was a beer garden. It was quite an event, and I think it's happening again.
Yeah, round 2.
Yeah. So, man, that seems like a good indicator of the type of things that could be going on here all year round at the hill.
There's no secret that we got to develop a 4-season operation to get Marble successful. With the aging population, it's a hard market to pull from. I feel if Marble Mountain were the proximity to what White Hills is hypothetically, we wouldn't be having this conversation because you'd be pulling from St. John's or Halifax out at the island. So, I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios that come into play, but obviously we cannot move the physical mountain. That's impossible.
You cannot. But why?
I don't know. One of these days, though, like imagine if we could do that. It'd be like X-Men or something, you know?
Yeah. No, you got to play the cards you're dealt. You have this ski hill. You have this world-class lodge. You have this mountain.
So I guess what I'm getting at is I like to think I'm thinking outside the box, and just like Ray was getting, going down that same path as well, is that you've got to evolve. You've got to progress. You can't just stay stagnant and accept that that's just the answer. We're looking for new scenarios right now. They don't happen overnight, I'll tell you that, but no, 100% we need to be a 4-season operation. There's no doubt about that.
Well, you did the ski resort operations management program, which not a lot of people who work like in this industry actually have.
There's 3 in Newfoundland.
So did that touch on like, I mean, I guess at a lot of places in the world, you can literally ski at the hill for like 3/4 of the year. You know what I mean?
Very few, if any, resorts in the world actually make money off chairlift sales alone. It's all the infrastructure that goes along with it, the base area.
Yeah, the ski village type thing.
People want to spend money. And right now at Marble, we're not really allowing them to do it. They can't even get a T-shirt that says they survived the Bunny Hill, for argument's sake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the process to get that out there is just right now kind of complicated, I guess.
I do feel in the last, say, 2 years, 3 years maybe, we've certainly gained a lot of our clientele back. I think there was a point that Marble Mountain, maybe it was the management decisions, maybe it was the employees' lack of passion. I'm not quite sure, but they seem to be lying to a lot of people for some time, and it's taken a couple years now to kind of rebound a little bit and have people back on our side. Even social media for a time was all about negativity when you talked about Marble Mountain, and it seems like now it's taken a bit of a turn for the better, in my opinion, and I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I think people, well, the important thing is until I noticed that until you became like the marketing dude down there wasn't really anyone. It was just the snow line. You know what I mean? There wasn't that person who was also online.
Good morning. Welcome to the Marble Mountain snow line.
But now you're like at the hill in the morning. You're like, hey, here's me. I'm about to do a backflip. Look, here's what the snow looks like. Here's what the sky looks like. Come on out. Like, that's important.
In today's day and age, it definitely is. People want to see videos and photos, and I couldn't agree more.
I need a top up here. Let's play Pass the Glass.
So, yeah.
What's this one here though? That's sour or something?
No, that's the Bunker C stout.
Bunker C stout.
It's a double chocolate oatmeal stout.
I do like stout. Just a little bit of that, Rich, because I'm gonna want to get into this stout here now in a second.
There's more glasses, man. It's all good.
Oh, I can like have multiple glasses on the go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Double fisted.
You have long arms.
The old Irish handcuffs.
There you go.
I find it funny that I told you guys to turn off your phones, and then
yours just went off a couple times here now.
That's my colleagues. But
Wants all the attention.
you know what, man? I'm sorry. When you're recording,
You
you're
should have
recording.
said it was your pregnant wife, and then it would have been totally acceptable. But
It's my pregnant wife.
all right,
Okay,
see,
all right,
I
yeah.
can understand.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm going to have some of this stuff. 1 second. You guys carry on. I'm just going to pour myself a little beer.
So, Ray, do you ever ski? You ever skied before?
I skied. I had a season pass actually way back in 1994.
Yeah. What's it going to take to get you back up there?
Free pass?
Free pass.
I'm sure we can arrange
Some
that. I might know a guy.
Exactly right. You know, I'm all for it. I certainly enjoyed the skiing. It's great sport. I don't know if my old bones can handle it right now, but you never know. Maybe under your guidance, I'll probably get up there for another.
I'll
few
take
runs.
you under my wing. That or have Ski Patrol follow us around with a toboggan. Maybe.
Oh, for sure. Have it handy, right? I'm actually trying to get Paula into it. She's
Good call.
Yeah,
I see her
for
liking
sure.
that.
Yeah.
And you, Dustin, I mean, Jesus, I sold you skis, my boots, everything, and I didn't even get to ski with you once.
Dude, I'm so...
What's up with that? I thought we were buddies.
I'm so glad that I got those skis off you. Like, I used to snowblade.
Me too.
Edit that out.
No, I did too. I won't say I'm proud of my snowblade days because that's
Yeah.
not the case at all.
I find it very fun, very liberating.
That's where I learned how to do backflips off moguls.
Yeah, but then the only bad thing is when I used to be riding, enjoying myself and going down like the marble chute, like they're tearing it up, and then people would just be up on the lift being like fruit booter or like, throwing their food.
Did you take that to heart?
I mean, obviously I stopped going and didn't go back until you
Yeah.
gave me your skis. So.
Wow.
But
Wow. Did you sleep at night? Like, I just don't get it.
no, it was all right. Snowblades were fun, but
No, I was stoked to have you back up there, but I was pretty disappointed we didn't get out.
me too. But you're busy, man. You're a
I
busy
am,
dude,
flat out.
and it was crazy actually to be like hanging out with you.
You know, it'd be
before
really
the
cool if
season
I
opened.
hired you on as an employee.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Then I would just have to be there all the time. And it's great of a place as it is. I feel like it's the kind of place you want to be able to go when you want to go.
Yeah, well said.
For sure.
Yeah. And, but you never know. We can talk. Pretty loyal to my employers. But side hustles, all about those.
Deal. All
You gotta
right.
have the side hustle, brother.
Yeah,
You scratch
absolutely.
my back, I'll scratch yours.
Richard, I'm surprised you don't have a side hustle. You used to, though. Man, you had a guarding outfit on the go, actually.
We did roam the rock for a few years. Definitely really proud of my tourism years, whether it might have been with Marble Zip, the cruise ship industry, or myself, Greg Pike, and Trevor Beck started up Roam the Rock. The concept was a guiding collective. It was really cool to get a bunch of people to work together. It was kind of shitty how I guess it all came about in the sense that you learn from your mistakes, and then the people maybe who led you down a road and I don't know the nicest way to say this, but I worked for some shitty people over the years, and I just got to the point where I just wanted to do it on my own and prove to everybody that I could do it better.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there's a lot of skeetery that goes on in the guiding industry at times. People kind of take advantage of people.
It's not just the guarding industry.
No,
It's everywhere,
true.
man.
I hate to say it, but the bulk of people out there are shitty people. Like, you almost got to accept that, and just kind of, live in your little bubble and just kind of do your own thing. And hopefully you find like-minded people. But I don't know. In today's society, it's a lot easier a lot easier to find somebody who's not necessarily straight and narrow than the other way.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying I'm straight and narrow.
Speaking of not straight and narrow,
I'm curvy altogether. So
if you're looking for people on the straight and narrow, you're watching the wrong podcast.
There you go. What's the thoughts on the beer?
Man, this is actually amazing. I was just going to say, I didn't want to. Yeah, it tastes like it. It's like super rich and
It's
creamy.
almost like a meal replacement.
Yeah, it is. This is how I like my stouts.
that's what you've been eating.
Oh yeah.
A stout.
Too much.
A stout should feel different in your mouth like that. It should be thicker, and it is.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep drinking on that because
That's coming in at around 7%.
really
So easy on that big boy.
Ooh, yeah, I'm a bit of a
Put the
lightweight.
funnel away.
There you go.
Yeah, I haven't been drinking so much
Little
since I got
beer
into the
bong over in the
cannabis
corner.
racket. You wanted me to get the beer bong out?
No, not banging it today. No.
This is a great beer pong table too, if you haven't already observed.
And poker.
For sure.
Ray was telling me about his poker skills there earlier on. That's impressive.
Would you
I'm
come
all
play?
in.
Would you come play poker here?
Depends on how much money you're bringing.
Oh man.
How much time you got?
Yeah, I got the time.
There you go.
If you got the money, honey, I got the time. But yeah, we were just saying, actually, Ray's had some randomly, by like stroke of fortune, had some success just playing online poker.
Yeah, playing a bit of online poker in the early 2000s. Well, I think it was 2009 actually that I played a step system on one of the poker sites and ended up winning a ticket to the World Series main event.
Crazy. This was like this is just when online poker was just sort of popping off, really, like in its peak.
Yeah, you had your Chris Moneymaker and
Daniel Negreanu, and those guys were on TV.
Joe Hashem and that. Yeah, so it was probably like 4 or 5 years after that.
Yeah.
And I won the I won the entry. It was a $12,000 package. And
to go to Vegas?
to go to Vegas for the World Series main event. And I said, honey, it was a great experience. She said, yeah, well, you're not going. So I said, okay.
And like that, well, I hope they paid you.
I rolled the dice on my marriage. She was like,
yeah.
Seemed to work
One
in
of these
favor.
days.
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, I heard a lot of people get married in Vegas, so maybe you could have just...
I saved my marriage by staying in Corner Brook.
Yeah. Well, I hope they still paid you, even though you didn't get to go or something.
Oh, yeah. We still, did pretty good there. It was, it was all right. And
paid you back in lieu of the trip. Kind of thing.
Ironically enough, since then, knowing that going to Vegas probably wasn't a big option, especially alone.
Yeah.
I haven't played a whole lot. Usually if we have probably a home game, I'm usually the first one out because I want to get at the chicken wings, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what poker's about. I play poker every Wednesday with my buddies here in Pasadena, and most of the time I lose. But I always say at the end of night when I walk out, it's hard to put a price on camaraderie. Exactly. And if I got, if the one time a week that I actually have a couple hours free to go see all my buddies, if I got to pay for that, I'm happy to do that.
Sometimes losing is winning, man.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no losing with your friends.
That's right.
But every now and then it's nice to win, a bit of cash playing poker. But that's not what it's all about. We're not professionals. But we should have a game down here and find out who is the professional. You know what? If I had a deck of cards, we'd be at it right now. We could have just played a few hands. Because that's the kind of show that this is. Things can get crazy and wild.
Yep.
You never know. It's fact. In
Next
fact,
time.
as far as you know, maybe there's going to be some surprises here this evening. You have no idea.
Joe Rogan coming out here or what?
Well, I don't know. You haven't looked under the bar yet, have you?
Strippers.
Yeah. That door right there, that opens in 20 minutes.
There you go.
You'll see what's behind it.
How about the cabin?
I thought it was a bathroom, but...
Okay. It is, but there's a tub. Yeah. So, Buzz, what's the plans for the summer now? Now that it's looking like summer here in Newfoundland.
Yeah, it's nice to finally see the sun.
Yeah, what are you going to get up to, do you think?
A lot of kayaking, mountain biking. We're doing some camping up in Gross Morn. Looking forward to that.
Are you still trying to sell that raft?
Yeah, I got 2 of them. I don't use them anymore. So
Richard's rafts are for sale.
River raft, get a hold of me, I guess.
They're legit river rafting rafts.
Full on, yeah. They're whitewater certified.
How much are you selling for?
One is $650 and the other is $750. I think.
So why wouldn't you try and capitalize on that with the Hummer River?
Oh, I tried. I created my own worst enemy with Roam the Rock River rafting tours. Started out years ago. That was.
But what about a fresh start?
I don't have the time to be at it.
Okay,
fair enough. That's literally it. They're just sitting there in mom and dad's backyard, not being used. And
well, how about this? Listen here. If you are an adventurous young outdoorsman person who's looking for a side hustle,
there you go.
There's a great little business opportunity for someone with some skill, but also the time to go do it. A few rafts, man, you can be charging people. I don't know, what do people pay a fair bit for that to go rafting, like
$80 a person,
and you put 6 in a raft.
8.
There you go.
We had 2 of them, actually 4 at the time, so it was very profitable. We were also doing caving and rock climbing and parasailing as well.
Dude,
wow.
There's so much potential in this area. It's kind of dependent that, or unfortunate that we're weather dependent for a lot of it. The insurance industry is really difficult too for small tourism business operators.
That's true. It must be a big barrier for
huge.
The small guy who wants to be a guide.
Probably the one thing that shut us down the most, I'd say, is the cost of annual insurance.
Yep.
That's wild.
And what's bad about it, in fact, is that a gentle, slow-moving river that the Humber River is, we're on the same classification for whitewater rafting as a Class 5 rapid in Nicaragua or whatever.
Why?
And that's what they don't understand in the insurance industry is that it is a scenic float.
Yeah, it's a lazy river, dude, except for like one part.
Which fluctuates twice daily by the tides, I might add.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and you can plan for that.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Last time I shot a podcast here, we were talking with some people about rafting in Steadybrook and like that whole phenomenon now of people going and buying the $30 raft from Canadian Tire, not buying the $10 life jacket and leaving all their garbage up there on the side of the river.
So true.
It shows me that there's like some demand for this activity, and also maybe that there should be something done about just organizing that,
Well, from an enforcement side of it as well, I would like to see the law enforcement out on the river, in my opinion, too, because there's a lot of alcohol that's consumed on those type of floats.
They did that last year, though, didn't they? They had this big, like, concerted effort or whatever.
And, I think it needs to be done more on a regular basis, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that was actually triggered by some of the salmon fishermen who were reporting people, like, ripping up the river on Sea-Doos and stuff. Yeah.
The worst I ever seen on my river rafting tours, believe it or not, was a picnic table floated by 3 blue barrels underneath, a 2-4 of beer, 3 yahoos paddling with tree branches.
This is on the Humber?
Oh, yeah, and I passed the group with a paying group. Like, it does not look very good.
Wow.
They're like, oh, how much is the picnic table tour? I wanted to go on the picnic table one. Oh, man.
That is unreal.
Yeah, that's a bit
But
nuts.
caving, too. Caving's wild. One of the most surreal things I've ever done. And considering that it's right here in our backyard and 90% of the people in Corner Brook don't even know that the caves exist.
Have you been in the caves?
I haven't been. I was just going to ask you.
Now you got the
gladly drag you.
You got
through
the physique for
caves,
caving, dude. Let
Man,
me tell you that.
I got
No,
the
you'd
physique
get
for standing
stuck.
outside the cave, right, looking in.
Yeah.
Man, that caving is
I'll
fun.
definitely
actually.
find the pinch points. I'll tell
And
you
Dustin, you caved, you've splunked.
I've actually have guided a few groups in through those caves. They probably shouldn't have followed me, but I got.
Did they come out?
There. They came out.
Oh,
we came
yeah,
out.
cool.
Yeah, I brought my wife
That's
through.
a bonus.
I know I can go. I can get in there, like pretty much all the way in there, but I don't know how to get out the wet way.
We have a task this summer.
Yeah, yeah,
So is it something that you can go in for like half a day?
yeah.
I've been in there. The most I've ever been in there was about 8 or 9 hours. You can be in there 4 hours and not cross the same track. There's a series of underground figure 8s.
Wow.
Really? I probably should have known about that before I got.
Yeah,
up
we've
there.
got ropes and ladders set up in there. There's like waterfalls. There's whirlpools. Like it's wild.
Yeah, the ropes are nuts. There's one really, like when you get to that river, anyone can get into the underground river, which is a really cool thing in its sight. But beyond that, I think is where it starts to get tangly. When you got to climb up that slick wall that the rope's on.
Into the ceiling, yeah.
Yeah, but my wife's done it. Like a lot of people who've never done anything like that, I've seen do it. So
Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is like last summer when that group from Thailand, the soccer
No
players.
kidding, yeah.
Is that
Nothing like that, I can assure you. No.
Yeah.
No, that
So
was
this cave system is actually one of the more safest cave systems in the world because it was channeled by water.
Yes.
So what was once a full-on rock enclosure, millions and millions of years of water running by, chiseled out a tunnel system, figure 8s, and it's really unique. You can come to you can fit houses in portions of the cave, whereas there's other spots I can promise you that you would not fit through.
That's really no different than the one in Asia where this happened.
That's right.
So, but like, if there's a flooding potential, is it gonna?
there is a flooding potential there actually.
Well, yes and no. That's a bit of a falsification, I think. There are signs put in the area. Earlier on in my younger years, I actually used to call Deer Lake Power and say, hey, we're going caving. Is it okay? Are you guys flooding the dam? And they'd literally laugh at me, being like, hey, you don't need to call us every time. It's more in the winter melt of the year, kind of your April and May, when they do have a lot of runoff coming down from the higher ups. So it's not a regular occurrence that it is flooded. It's somewhat true, but mostly false.
Have you ever seen a time when there's water like coming
Yes,
down that canyon, down that gorge?
There are several points outside of the cave that you would get and know that you would not be able to go into the caves, if that makes sense.
Based on how wet it was outside.
You got it. Yeah. So you use those certain points as your deterrents, it's like, hey, there's water moving here. But yes, to answer your question, I've actually been in there when the water started rising, and now you're basically an hour before it comes up anywhere over your knee to worry about, but it really doesn't go too much higher than just over your knee, if you will.
Yeah.
So if there's someone who's claustrophobic, I guess you still probably
it's going to be, you probably won't be when you finish.
I'm a firm believer that you got to get people, in that element and really help them overcome. And just like ziplining is one of those things that helps you overcome a fear of heights, caving is one of those things that helps you overcome the fear of claustrophobia.
Okay. Have you done the zip line yet?
I haven't. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm just afraid that the cable's going to bust her.
Yeah. I'm afraid of shoddy workmanship.
I actually helped build the zip line back when it was originally constructed, and those two cables are aircraft rated.
And not because of the technology, it's because of my weight.
Go on.
You would have been known as a heifer or a cannonball.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
or a stat.
Yeah. Now, me, on the other hand, when I did it, I was so light, and there was a good breeze that day that I actually got stuck out on the line several times. They had to come out and get me. I couldn't make it across. So that's worse. That's worse.
I'd be halfway through it. My ass would be in the water, right?
Can you imagine little Dustin over there catching you on the far side? It's like,
come on, yeah. Go on. I'm pretty sure there was like a 90-pound dude there when I was flying across. I was like, look out. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't you that day.
You've got the arms for rock climbing, so why not zip lining?
I'm a rock climber. What was the other thing I'm physically built for again?
What was it? I can't remember. I was lying this whole time, Dustin.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. You guys see this? How come no one's asked me about my shirt yet?
Because I don't understand
shirt? What's it all about?
See that behind you there? That Meraki? John Oaks. That's a clothing company based out of St. John's that I'm collabing with now.
And he's a really good guy.
He was at Jib Fest.
Yeah, he came down to Marble. They set up and hopefully sold a bunch of gear.
Yeah, I think he did well. And we just started chatting. I liked what he was doing. This is one of the shirts he's designed. It says "Everybody knows somebody" on it, and then on the back, that phone number for like the crisis intervention hotline in Canada. And every shirt that sells like 10% goes towards that cause or whatever, right? Just like an awareness thing. I thought as soon as I saw it online, I'm like, oh, I need one. This crazy design of some, smiley dude with this crazy, with the demons.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, really, really cool shirt. So we're collaborating, and we've got a shirt that he's just finished the design
John
on.
And his wife are expecting a baby as well, aren't they?
They are. So, and he's like my age. He's expecting a little boy. We've just been meeting and chatting and talking about business and finding ways that we can help each other's business. And so we've got a new shirt design that we're going to release this summer. I'm going to be selling it at Steady Entertainment events and festivals and things. And it's like a West Coast specific imagery. So we've got some like a new logo done up that sort of represents some things that anyone from the West Coast would know. That's an iconic Corner Brook landmark kind of thing. But anyone else from not Newfoundland would think it was just a normal thing. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Awesome.
Sounds great. Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, you can keep your eyes posted on that. But yeah, you can go on his website now on the Meraki brand, and he sells a bunch of different really cool, like Newfoundland inspired shirt designs and things that are pretty contemporary.
The hoodie he hooked me up with there this past winter is one of my favorite ones. I think I've retired all my other hoodies, in fact.
Yeah, I saw those hoodies on his website. They're nice. But yeah, everyone should go online and check him out. Meraki, Meraki.
What
brand.
does that stand for? Do you know?
I don't exactly know. I think it's someone.
I kind of have a feeling it's something like the Costa Rica Pura Vida, like way of life or something like that.
I think it's something like that. I think it's something to do with like good deeds. Let me see. Look that up, Jamie. Meraki. This is a word that modern Greeks often use to describe what happens when you leave a piece of yourself in your work. When you love doing something, anything so much that you put something of yourself into it. Now, John, great job. That's a fantastic brand message for sure.
It's deep.
Yeah,
Very
that is. So funny. One of my people I was telling one of my staff about this arrangement the other day, who also knows John. And she's like, well, what does Meraki mean? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like a numbers guy, whatever, just a business person. You know, she's like, oh, you need to know. I said, yes. So, you know, so she was right.
Now we know.
That is a profound meaning. I wish Steady Entertainment was half as cool or as rich, but it's not.
Where did you come up with Steady Entertainment?
I don't know. It's pretty locally inspired, we can say. But it's also, you know, it works. That was my objective. It's just to be steadily entertaining people one way or another. And shows was the original thing, live shows. But, man, they take time and a lot of money. And we still do them all the time. But now this is another layer that we can maybe entertain people. And so the idea with this podcast and everything is to create like a web platform on YouTube where other local people who are maybe artists or creators or musicians or comedians, they'll have a platform to put their stuff on as well that already has some sort of audience. So awesome. Wow. Yeah, so I hope it's not just me and us and Chris here doing this all the time. We're hoping that other people want to kind of collaborate and work with us and do their own stuff. This space that we have here could be available to other people if they wanted to do, you know, get into podcasting and vlogging, and the only barrier to entry was they didn't have any cameras.
Are we going to do a poker podcast?
Yeah, I really think we should.
I'll flash the cards there.
I'm all
on the
in on
camera.
that.
Yeah. I really think we should, and I think Chris, we just need to let Chris find a way here to figure out how to do that thing where they like show on the screen what their cards
that'd be
are.
Wild.
Yeah,
He's on it.
there's probably we could probably easily do that, and a lot of editing in the end, but or I could just modify my table here and put little pieces of glass.
Show the Uno card, right?
Yeah.
You made this table or what?
So, boys, I made this table. This was my first piece of carpentry project. Careful, Ray. There's a screw sticking up. Has that cut you already?
Not yet.
Okay,
I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I meant
Can't
to
believe you're just telling them now. That could have been very dangerous.
Yeah, you're right. We've been saying that for days. That's going to literally slice someone's wrist open someday
It's
soon.
been over it a few times, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you sign the waiver, Ray?
I forgot to get them to sign the waiver. Shit.
So why do I have to sign a waiver?
Because you're a massive liability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to backflip the deck, man. Chill out.
I don't know that with confidence. Yeah. So, you know, we're hoping that we're going to have like some bands as well. You know, if like a band was on the go that we're working with through Steady, let's say, we're going to bring them in, let them play a set, you know, have a chat, talk about what inspired their music. We can go back and forth between playing and speaking about it. And as far as I know, it's kind of a one-off. There's not a lot of spaces like that around here, right? But yeah, and again, with this setup, like I was telling you outside earlier, it's so, like, this is it. This is kind of the brain and Chris and our cameras, but we can take this show on the road anywhere. So I hope we get invited out to some cool things.
Area? You're the muscle.
I'm not the muscle. He's actually the muscle. I don't know what. He's the muscle. I'm like the mouth. And
He's the eye candy.
Yeah, not even. I don't foresee myself like hosting long term, but it's hard to, you know, go talk to your friends and be like, hey, I'm starting this podcast. I need you to be the host of it, and you need to just show up every time I call you on 10 minutes notice to do it. Only Chris has been willing to do that so far.
Where did you find him?
Chris, man, that's a good question. That's a good question, because I did not know Chris until we started to go down this road. But basically, someone that I worked with in the cannabis industry, went to pay them a visit one day at their house, and it's actually Chris's brother. And I just walked in and saw all these lights and tripods and cameras and shit. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? And he's like, oh, well, my brother is just film stuff, just video stuff. We fight around, we record, we write, and he went to film school or whatever. I'm like, oh. And then a couple of days later, I just started asking questions about, Chris, and like, so what is this guy? Like, what can he do? What does he have? What's the deal? And just finally reached out to him and told him exactly what we were trying to do and said, this is exactly what I want to do. And I could pay you nothing today.
Good find. Dustin, since we're being real, I mean, it's kind of what happened with you and I at Marble.
Yeah, well, you know, they're called contra deals. And as long as there's something in it for both parties, it doesn't always need to be cash exchanged over hands. And I think that's the key. Like, you know, people get in their own way sometimes. People don't take opportunities because they're like, oh, well, I need, pay me first kind of thing. But especially in Newfoundland, it's cool to just do things, just prove that you're able to do it. And then it's shocking what happens. You know, the demand just comes once you've, done what you said you can do a few times. So yeah, with Chris, we had a great thing. We managed to acquire all this gear with some help. Also, another shout out to HM Audio and Corner Brook for helping us source a lot of this. Max and the boys. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are being like, yo, come to Marble, come to the new Crooked Feeder Grassco pub. We're having this on the go. You should come out and, do a podcast thing there. And we'd love to.
Oh, we'll definitely have you guys here.
Yeah.
Is Chris makeup ready? Can we get him on camera for a second?
Chris is pretty makeup ready.
Come on. Get
Yeah.
here.
Come over and say hi for a second, Chris.
For a second.
Yeah. He was not prepared for this. No.
Impromptu.
You said we're going to freestyle it, so
Yeah.
well played,
freestyle it.
We'll
Wow.
keep you around.
See, this is, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, you busted up. So this is Chris McCarthy. He's like the, he's what's making all this go around. He sets it all up. He's our producer of this podcast.
he's making us look good.
Yeah, he's just been back there
Right.
enjoying beer.
Some of us, right? Not all.
Okay, well, I can't speak for you.
I do what I can.
Yeah, there you go.
Well played, boys.
Yeah. And Chris, where did you study the film stuff anyway? That was out in Steamville, I think, right?
Yeah. I went to CNA out in Bay St. George.
It's pretty nuts.
Awesome.
It's cool to think
Kona's
that
got
there's,
some really great programs.
this is what I mean.
Yeah. Things you wouldn't expect, like.
I actually graduated from adventure tourism in Kona, here in Corner Brook. So yeah, I'm a firm believer.
That's, you do a lot of hands-on sort of adventure tourism stuff in that program, right?
Correct. At the time, I think I got a diploma in hacky sack.
Really?
It was great. I played hack every day.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a poker minor at Grenfell, but then by the fourth semester, I couldn't afford to go anymore because I
course,
didn't.
isn't that always the way?
You need a major to be able to succeed in that racket. But man, that is literally where I learned to play poker. Was at university in the lounge, not in class.
So I think you had one of my buddies a few years back, Dane Kawaja, helping you out do some video. Is that right?
Yeah. He did some acting for us. A couple different people in the program. Yeah, he was always willing to throw himself out there. Yeah.
Yeah, Dane definitely is one of those guys for sure. Throw himself at anything.
I gotta go pee. I'll be right back, guys. You keep doing this. This is the first time I've had to pee while recording, but
I was going to ask you what that puddle was then.
And there you go.
BRB. Talk about Dane.
Yeah.
I'll host
Crazy
for a
legs. Hopping around. So is the porn still on the laptop?
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting, actually.
Unbelievable.
Should have stayed on that side.
Yeah, gross,
Yeah.
Dustin.
Dustin's into some stuff.
I know, like
He's a
goat
hard
porn.
ticket.
Is that what that is? I thought that was a horse. I don't know.
Nay.
It's hard to tell. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what it feels like to be Dustin Parsons, I guess.
Rad.
Are you over it?
You're
Are
killing
you
it,
over
I
it
must
now?
say.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
go
think I
back
like
there.
this.
What was that?
I think I like this better. This
Yeah?
Dustin better. Yeah, I think
oh,
I like
yeah.
this Dustin better.
Bit of
Dustin
an upgrade.
2.0.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry,
maybe I'll
Dustin.
have to host eventually or something. Who
Deal.
knows? Yeah.
So do you play poker? We didn't ask you earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not any good at it, but I
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Awesome, cool.
Excellent.
Well, you drink beer and shoot shit, so I mean you'll fit in quite well.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? Yeah. Losing money, getting drunk. Yeah.
It's all good. All the prerequisites are there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So what's the big plan for the summer then? What are you guys up to? I kind of mentioned I got a few things going on, but I didn't get a chance to let you guys into the conversation there.
Always hogging the airtime, man.
I know.
Literally, right?
Yeah.
On slopes
Oh.
and on and on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm just gonna swallow this whole microphone.
There you go. All right. Well, for us, we're excited to get the gastropub project on the go. We're aiming for a late June soft opening. So we're probably
Am I
going to
getting
be.
an invite for that or no?
Well, it depends, right? We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could ask Paula.
I think. Yeah. Well, she's the decision maker, right?
Okay.
Shouldn't have said that. But we're looking at doing probably 2 or 3 nights of soft opening. We got a great team assembled, very experienced, very eager to get there and show the place well. We just want to create an atmosphere and a place where people can show up in a laid back.
You ever feel like
setting.
this was what you were meant to do?
I don't know. I'm into a few different things, and I certainly welcome a challenge, and this certainly is a fitting challenge. But it's also, just something that it do feel right.
Awesome. Good.
And we're
You deserve it. I'll tell you that.
Oh, thanks, man. We certainly appreciate it. You just put your best efforts in whatever you do, and hopefully it works out. We certainly put a lot of research into it, and we feel like this is something that's the timing is right. So especially with the summer tourism season and Corner Brook come home year, it's just.
Do you see an opportunity going like cross island for like a brew tour almost? How many breweries are there on the island?
I think there's around 13 or so. 13,
so 14. Hypothetically, somebody from New York flies up here. You take them to every single brewery in Newfoundland.
That's quite possible. I think you're.
What a buzz!
Hey, boy.
No kidding. That's what I was thinking.
Exactly right. I think you're probably looking at more so of perhaps a regional context, like the West Coast brewery circuit. That may be more, more.
Even that in itself. So, how many are on the West Coast?
Well, we got Crooked Feeder Brewing up in Cormac.
Right.
Ragnarok, I believe, is going to be starting sometime. I think they just got their brew gear delivered, and we see it on social media. So they may miss this tourist season, but you never know. Bootleg is in on West Street. They're up and running for, I guess, a little over a year now.
Yeah.
Boomstick's coming online.
Boomstick is coming online. I'm not sure if they'll be ready for 2019, or I think that they may be. I think they're working hard at it. Yep. And you got Secret Cove out in Port-au-Port. Right. So we have a great, great cross section there. Tourists, craft beer enthusiasts can come to the West Coast. They can take in different tourist attractions at each of those venues, stay a night, try some of the beer, and then go to the next location.
I think it goes hand in hand.
It do. And, like the way we look at it, like say in Corner Brook, there's going to be 2 breweries and a gastropub that's a subsidiary of the Crooked Feeder Brewing. Yeah. And for us, if you got like if there's a tourist there, they're going to be they're going to be taken in. We think that they're probably not going to go to the same place 3 or 4 nights. They're going to go to this place one night, that place another night.
Yeah, I agree.
And so we want to be, I guess, one of those places that they.
Are you going to do screech-ins?
Listen,
whatever people want.
Whatever people want, and that we don't have to deviate from operational logistics too much. Yep, we're open to it. Awesome. We always want feedback from the patrons. People, our Facebook, we're getting bombarded with messages. People wondering when we're going to be open. What beers are we going to have? Are we going to have guest taps? And we are going to have guest taps.
Guest taps are like other breweries.
Other breweries. We're not going to.
Wow,
we're making the stand that we're not going to have any domestic beer.
Fair enough.
We want to be able to highlight and showcase the other craft breweries in the province, and because they've done that for us when we opened up. We never had our tap room open. We still don't. We're hoping to have that done in June, but. Like Bootleg, they took some of our beer, put it on tap, which was amazing.
That's really cool.
It is, man. It's great because, same thing with Kitty Vitty. They took some of our beer, put it on tap.
That's what it's about. It's a culture, right?
Port Rexton, yeah, and it goes hand in hand. Selling beer in Newfoundland isn't the worst thing that you could be at.
Yeah,
so
pretty thirsty people.
Thirsty people, and the fact that it's local beer. I guess we feel it's like quality over quantity. Tourists, they went to as yourself and Dustin knows, they want the experience. Mm-hmm. They want to be able to go to a place, take in what the attraction is, and learn about how the brewery got started. So I'm a big proponent that. All the breweries, we're all similar in that we're all craft breweries, but we all have different stories, and every one of those stories is important. And to get into the craft brewery business, it is a positive business, but you gotta know what you're at to make it work. And for us, there's 3 of us, and we all have complementary skill sets that we bring to the table, and it just works out very, very well, right?
Did you find it tangly to navigate the process to be able to legally get craft beer into the market, or to be allowed to do this, or is it not as complicated as people might think?
Well, we have to deal with the regulatory bodies, fire inspection, food inspection, NLC, municipal inspection, environmental assessment. All these things are needed to be done. So you don't just wake up and say, yeah, let's just do this, and you got to do your homework. You got to show that you mean what you got. Yeah. You're serious about it. Plus, you got to have the financial resources to do this, right? It takes time. It takes money. Any brewery that's going to start up, you're going to encounter a lot of hiccups, no matter what budget you have. Your skill sets, hiring. If you need to hire a brewmaster, if you're going to do it yourself. So there's always challenges, but every brewery that's operational today is a success story. They've weathered the storm, and I'm sure they've all thought about quitting a dozen times. Yeah. But they've all weathered the storm, and it's great, and they all have a great story to tell.
I had a moment this winter. I almost quit. I don't know if you heard about that one or not.
Only one moment, dude.
Only one.
I'm pretty sure I saw you 5 times about to quit. Like, dude, everything is on fire.
Even when you love it, like Ray said, you're gonna find that moment where you just question everything, and that's normal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, my case particularly. I ended up punching a hole through a door, actually, so it was kind of funny.
Well, sometimes that's what you have to do, man. Just to keep going. It's better than the door.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
I didn't like that door anyway.
Yeah, that door was stupid. I prefer nature therapy. I like to just take a nice little walk in the woods, but you don't really get to do that when you're sometimes in an office setting. Although I do, man. Sometimes when I'm at work and I'm having like a long, old, draggy day, I'll just drive my car and go up to like the Corner Brook Stream Trail and just spend my 15-20 minute break on that, just walking for a second. It's actually amazing.
Makes a huge difference. You feel so much better.
Yeah, you do.
Recalibrate, yeah.
Yeah. The Japanese got it figured out, man. They have it literally down to a science. They call it Shinrin Yoku. It's almost a prescription at this point in Japan, but it translates into forest bathing. And that's basically what it is. Sometimes you might have a certain psychiatric illness and you might be prescribed a certain regime of Shinrin Yoku, like to go walk in these places. And in Japan, they actually have dedicated parks that are built for this purpose, just for like nature therapeutics, which is pretty interesting. But here in Newfoundland, we're blessed. You don't need a dedicated park, because the whole place is that you just walk a few minutes outside your door and you're probably in some pretty wild nature, relaxing.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah, it is. I'm really interested in these rafts, man.
So what do you have coming up this summer?
Me?
Yeah.
We've got a few things. Steady's got a few things on the go. We're jumping in on the Come Home Year celebration. I'm not really involved in the organization of the actual Come Home Year. But we decided to have a headline festival in the middle of it, or a headline concert, just so there is that splash event for when people do come home. So we're gonna have Alan Doyle and Trent McClellan up at the Civic Center. It's my first stadium show, or Steady Entertainment's first stadium show.
Awesome.
3 years ago, I guess, or 4 years ago, our first show was in my living room. There was 30 people there. It was Ian Foster. And then we had a few more in our house. And so it's really crazy to think that now we're doing these stadium shows not too much longer later. And we have the Gathering on the go in Burlington, which is awesome. You might have saw it. We just got picked up by Forbes magazine yesterday.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like this little festival in this little town, getting these nods in these big publications, which is super exciting. And there's definitely a direct ticket sales impact as well, I've noticed, since that's gone online.
Where's the growth of the Gathering going? Like, it's massive, it sounds like.
The Gathering is like pretty much at capacity right now. This is the thing, right? Like we can't get any more people into this community. And it's just like the right number, but it's kind of limited. You have to be down to camp or stay in an RV for the most part, because there's not a lot of hotels in the area. So that's just the kind of festival that it is. And the people who come are down for that.
How are the residents with it?
The residents are great. A lot of the residents are actually the people who've been making this thing happen truly.
Yeah.
And before Steady Entertainment was involved, Sean Majumder, who is the founder of this festival, he created all of this. None of this would happen without Sean. Would have happened. And so now this year it's going to be different with Sean not there, unfortunately. He'll be there in spirit. But yeah, it's been like a community effort. So Sean had organized like some community members. At one point in time, it wasn't necessarily, there was a bit of a rift with some certain parts of the community weren't totally sold on the festival. But now it seems like they're all in. You know, we had like the leaders of the local churches and things out last year, and we just noticed some of these big differences. People are starting to realize, like, yeah, this is important for our region, really. So I'm very, very excited. We got the Navigators, we got the Novaks. We're going to have a great comedy show, and these food events. This is something that I know we talked about it, but I hope it comes together. But these chefing events and the boutique food vendors that we have down there, is that alone makes it worth the trip out. It's just the caliber of food that you see in this small little place at this time is world class. In the past, it's been Jeremy Charles and, you know, Jonathan Gouju, these chefs from like the Fogo Island Inn and high-end St. John's restaurants just out here.
So how are the tickets? Can you go for a day? Is it a weekend thing? Like if you want to take a certain...
In the past, there's been a lot of different ticket types, probably too many ticket types. This year, it's really simplified. There's a pass that can allow you to just go to the main grounds, entertainment. That's where you'll catch all those bands I mentioned. And then there's sideline events. So there's like a chef hike where you can pay to be part of a very small group that goes for a short hike, this year led by Justin Barber, the Newfoundland Explorer, who we also have on tour next month. And you go in, some of our headline entertainers are playing for you on the beach, and, you know, a world-class chef is cooking you up a scoff. And this year we've got Stephen Q from Q's Barbecue. He's going to be doing a pig roast. Wow. A crab boil, you know, right down on the ocean. We're going to have musicians playing. So it's a really, really cool experience.
You got any craft beer on site or what?
We don't. We do have one, you know, it's a dry festival.
It's a dry community, isn't it?
Well, it's not a dry community now. We're not up in the Arctic Circle, but it's, you know, how should I say this? The fact that being a dry festival was kind of an important part of getting some community buy-in in that area. And, but at the same time, you know, a lot of people camp and they're free to do what they want at their campsites. And we also have an event called the Summer Mummer Shed Crawl, which historically was led by Rex Gowdy, who's also from Burlington. I don't know what's going on in Burlington, but they've got they made two great Canadian talent figures out of this small place. And you basically get on a bus and you go to 3 different sheds in Burlington, and it's BYOB. And in every shed, there's like musicians playing, and 300-400 people in people's backyards just raging out, right? Cool. So I think there could be an opportunity we've never had like a beer sponsor or anything like that in the past, and I think that might be an opportunity, but we'll have to talk to our friends at the NLC first and let them know what's going on.
Would you ever see an opportunity like that to come to the West Coast or anything with something like that?
I think it needs to. I think there's so much, like the Gathering is a proven model at this point. You know, and it's hard to do. It's hard to figure out how to put, you know, that many people in a place with no cell reception, no, like a lot of the infrastructure you would need for a festival is not there. But for a short time, we can create it. And then when we look at moving, you know, if you looked at doing a similar thing out here, it would be so much easier, really.
Yeah.
But you got to ask the question, can you provide the same experience? Would it be the same? Would it be as... you know, magical if you weren't in this little tiny place down on the ocean, and you know what I mean? Absolutely. So I don't know I think the Gathering maybe needs to stay as it is, but I think the model can be applied to other places, and people are down to come and camp and see a show and do that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's something that should be looked at for sure.
I agree to that. Yeah.
I wanted to take the Gathering on the road. Actually, I've been talking to Sean about this a little bit. And this year, just the Gathering again was a little late starting out, but I think that we should take these Newfoundland talents, the ones who you would see in the Gathering every year, which is, you know, the best of our island, and take that show on the road. So let's do the Gathering, but let's go to Fort Mac. Let's go to, you know, Dublin, and see what happens. You know,
makes sense.
And it's a good way to get, you know, Newfoundland talents promoted. Hopefully, maybe we'd get some sponsorship or some government nod there to help promote these acts abroad. But yeah, we'll see. I really think going to Ireland, like bringing Newfoundland musicians over to Ireland, is a big thing. It could be a big thing. I think it'll be well received. Did you guys hear of that band Newfoundland?
I have not.
Yeah. So they were one of our headliners last year at the Gathering. They're called Newfoundland, and they're from, I believe, Waterford, Ireland.
Cool.
Or like Southern Ireland somewhere. Sorry, guys. But yeah, they came over, they flew over, they did a big bunch of shows in Newfoundland. The coolest people ever, super Irish, super connected with the Newfoundland Ireland connection from their end. You know, and in Newfoundland, you see all these people who are like Irish descendants, you know, we're all interested in that. And this is people who are over there in Ireland, like naming their band after Newfoundland, coming over here, playing these places, super, super duper people. And so yeah, I've been having some chats with them about, you know, let's send this back the other way. You guys should come over here more often, and also our musicians should go over there more often, I think. I don't know. Marble Mountain 2020, New Year's Eve party, Newfoundland band.
Yeah, let's talk.
Yeah, so much opportunity.
No, Dustin, we both know that the adult side of that didn't necessarily work out like we had planned.
Adult side of what?
The New Year's Eve party at Marble?
You know, the thing about that was, I don't know if it didn't work out like we planned, but what was realized was the family event is where it's at.
Huge.
Yeah. And this is the thing about the Gathering too. It's a family event because it's a dry festival. People can bring
Sure.
their kids and you can bring your dogs. The whole festival is dog friendly.
Massive.
Now, wrap your head around that, right? You have no excuse. You're like, oh, I can't bring the kids. Oh, I got to find a sitter for the dog. Like, nope, just come on out, bring your tent like you would go camping, except you're going to be at this kind of situation. But yeah, I think family events, also at Marble, especially at Marble, I think are the key. Yeah, we had like, 200 people come out for the evening event, and then 1,000 come out for like the
If not
the family
more.
event. Yeah,
It was controlled chaos with the sliding outside, and the fireworks were embarrassing their first year, but we definitely made it better.
See that poster? I got it up on the
there
wall.
you go.
It's made the cut of all the posters. I have the Colin Hollett poster where he autographed it when he got arrested and I had to bail him out of jail. That poster says, "Here's $20. Sorry for your troubles." Thanks, Colin. And
I would believe that he got arrested. I could see him being quite the animal when he's loaded.
dude, you know how much of an animal is Colin Hollett is when he's on the whiskey? The cops were convinced. Neither of us could convince the cops that he wasn't absolutely on like amphetamines. He was like, I was talking to the cop. He's like, man, I'm telling you, he's on something. I'm like, no, you don't understand. He's just nuts. He's a comedian. Like, he lost his jacket. They're like, no, he's on something.
Wow.
And I went and talked to him. Colin was in the back of the cop car, and he was there. He's like, man, I didn't do anything. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I know, but here's the deal. You're going to jail for the night. And he's like, what?
You're acting like a lawyer.
And then the cop was like, okay, see, I told you, he's out of hand. The cop rolled out the window, took him off. I was like, oh shit, what do I do? And anyway, the cabbie, I was driving home with the cabbie to Pasadena, and he was like, man, if you're sober, you can go vote for him and get him out. I'm like, sober, man? Like, I've been with him all night. Like, we're both been out at the bar, we're in the same state. I'm just, handling things differently. And but I called the cops and said, listen, man, here's the deal. I've been out with Colin. I'm doing business with him. Trust me, this is a big confusion. He's, a great guy. It's not what you think. And they said, yeah, if you come down now, then we'll let him out. So I got the cab. We were in Pasadena. I got the cabbie to bring me back to Corner Brook.
Wow.
Went down to the station. By the time I got down there, the guys were all like taking their picture with Colin, having a big laugh. They realized that this was kind of a big screw up, and not on their behalf. They did what they would do if they saw any raging lunatic on the street, right? But that was the thing. I think if Colin,
I hope he uses that in his next act.
Colin has mentioned that actually in his comedy set a lot. He tells the story, one way.
Yeah.
And Colin's going to be here in studio. He better be. They're going on a big tour now. You probably saw the Best Kind comedy tour. They've got another big run. They're basically going from St. John's to BC with Lynch and Brian Aylward. So yeah, when they come through, I'm going to have Colin in here. We're going to set the record straight. But yeah, that was a great day.
Lynch did a video down in Florida there recently.
Yeah, the boys went to
funny.
Disneyland.
It was nuts.
Yeah, that's good. They're so funny, man.
What did he say? His favorite ride was sitting on the ledge, double fisting the beers.
No, he said it was the umbrella ride. It was underneath the umbrella, drink a beer, I think.
It's so good. And you guys should all go check that out if you're listening. The Best Kind Comedy Tour. Tickets should be on sale now. And if you're listening from anywhere in Canada, they'll probably be coming to a venue near you soon. But yeah, bunch of nutcases, man.
Unreal.
Yeah.
You know, I just looked at the time here. I realized I've got a soccer game in 10 minutes.
Dude, your soccer game was like 10 minutes ago. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I know. I should actually consider leaving here, but I'm having so much fun just shooting shit.
Yeah, well, do you want to bounce?
I hate to say it. I am the captain, and
You're the captain of your soccer team. Like, yeah, I was talking to my buddies, drinking beer.
Yeah, no big deal, right? It's okay.
Well, I tell you what, Buzz, we've been at this for an hour and 20 minutes.
Impressive.
So,
I had
which
no
is
idea.
impressive to me. So, guys, I think we should maybe just wrap it up. And I want to thank you for coming down here.
Well, I hope we can do it again, actually.
Yeah,
now
this
that,
is so much easier
now
with
that
buddies.
You've broken my podcast virginity here.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's so much
It's
better.
perfect.
You got a
Actually.
twofer.
This two for rob both of you. Pop both of those. But it's a lot easier when you're talking to friends. And so thank you guys for coming down. Anyone who's listening, please go check out the Crooked Feeder. Find them online. Check out their new gastropub when that opens up soon. And of course, if you haven't already made yourself familiar with Marble Mountain and you're listening from anywhere in the world, this is a world-class ski resort right here in Western Newfoundland. The best skiing east of Mount Tremblant, Quebec. And
Don't judge us by our website. We're upgrading it very soon.
yeah, the website is the least slick thing about all this place, but it's amazing skiing run by some really, really cool, forward-thinking people, and you're going to want to get yourself out. So, guys, where can we find you guys on? Do you know your social tags right now? Do you know the Crooked Feeder Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, or what's the website?
Crooked Feeder Brewing. Just so that's the handle for Instagram and for Facebook.
Basically, what he's saying is Paula does it all.
Paula, yeah, ask the wife. And what about marbles? Skimarble.com?
Yeah, it's at Ski Marble. You can't go wrong with Ski Marble or hashtag come out and play.
Yeah, but I would say better off for Marble to go check out the Facebook page, which is where you see all that fresh
Totally,
content
yeah.
and, all the ski videos and stuff like that are on there. Well, boys, let's do this again very soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. It's
Thank
been
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Dope.